All right, our guest is trying to get in. Yes. Okay. Uh-huh. All right. Y'all ready? Let's do it. Buenos dias.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Not too bad, honey child. Welcome to the Cold Hard Truth.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So you reached out to us a couple days ago and you
Yeah.
said you're having a situation.
Yeah.
Tell us, okay, let's start at the beginning here. Just trying to adjust this. Tell us what's going on.
Okay, so back in I believe it was February, there were some killings in the area that I live in. My daughters live in Jamaica.
Okay.
My sister had to go there to ask someone to keep them. I believe she went like the first of April, February, March, so right?
Mhm.
She asked a friend of hers to keep them for me because I couldn't get to go to Jamaica because of work. So she
Mhm.
went there and she had someone to keep them. Fine.
Okay.
So
So you live and work in Cayman
yes,
and you have
for
children in Jamaica.
yes.
How old are your kids?
My first daughter is 14 and the second one she's 10,
Okay.
right?
All right. So you're a bit concerned because of an increase in violent crime in the area that you guys live.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Mhm.
So um I had to take them because the lady who they were staying with now, it turns out that they're threatening her life, her son's life, and they had to run
Oh
away from
gosh.
where they live, right?
What?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So,
Wow.
um, so I got depressed, stressed out, and all of that because I don't know what to do with them. And then, like,
Mhm.
I'm their mother. The only thing I have to do is try to take them where I am, right? Because
Mhm.
they're my kids. I have no choice.
Right.
So they came the 7th of April. I even got them doing online school. I paid for their classes, stuff like that. So
Mhm.
when they're home, they're going to school, right? I went to George. They came the 7th of April. Their time at immigration finished the 7th of May. I
Mhm.
went to George, I believe.
Now, who's George? You got to tell people
George,
who's listening. Gotta tell
sorry,
who
George
George is.
Ebanks,
People-
guys, the notary,
Okay.
George Ebanks.
All right. So
Um,
George Ebanks, yes, you went to him. Now, how did you find out about George?
I I used to work at a salon back in the days because I've been here for probably like 10 years straight now, right? I've been married for 7 years, and I knew George because I used to work at a salon, and he was a client of my boss because he used to come there to get his hair done and stuff like that. So I
Mhm.
know that that's the type of work that he does. I
Mhm.
reached out to him. I even went to his office with my daughters and I say, like, I tell him what the situation is. I had the news article printed off, to back up my story to prove that, it's not a lie, it's true. And this is the situation back in Jamaica where they live.
Mhm.
I brought everything to him, okay, and he said, it was $500. I said, fine. I sent my daughter to the ATM to get the money. She
Mhm.
came back. I paid him the $500. He said
Now,
$100 for
now,
his
what sort
processing
of
fee.
just one second. What sort of application were you having him put in for you?
I was putting them on my residency, so they would have been my dependents.
Okay, so you have when you say residency, is that RERC or what is it that you have?
Yes, I
So
have
you're married to
RERC.
Cayman.
Yes, mom.
Okay. All right. So you can add dependents onto that.
Yes,
Okay. All
yes. Um,
right. Mhm.
so I
So he told you it's $500.
Yeah, he told me it's $500. I sent my daughter to get the $500 from the ATM. She came back. He said $100 for his processing fee, but because of
Mhm.
the amount, the limited amount that I can use from take from my card on a daily basis, I say, okay, I'll come back and I'll give you the $100 once you drop these paperwork in. He said, fine, no rush, Allison. Okay, I know you and whatever it is, and I'm like, okay, fine,
So the
whatever.
$500 is what government charges to add someone to RERC?
Yes, mom.
Okay.
um he got all the paperwork, he got the money and whatever. So 2 weeks after, I say it just run on my mind. So I say, let me call immigration to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And
For
you
2 weeks,
know,
did he say to you at any time during that time that okay, it's been submitted,
no,
it's in? He didn't say anything to you.
nothing at all, no communication, nothing at all, right?
Okay.
So I say, let me just call immigration to check on this thing. I
Yeah.
call them and I say, I spoke with a lady. She was really nice, and I say, I'm just trying to check up on a residency application for my daughters. So she asked me
Mhm.
what my name was, and I told her my name. She said, Miss, I don't see anything in the system for your children or
Yeah.
anything, any application be I didn't honor your name. So I
Mm-hmm.
was at work, and I'm like, this must be a mistake because
Mm.
he said he would have put it in the following day. I was there on a Thursday because I
Oh,
was at work.
somebody's asking if you got a receipt for the $500.
No, hear what he was telling me.
Oh
Oh
gosh.
yes, I do. I do have a receipt for my $500. Like
Okay.
I do. So I called him that same day, and I was talking to him, and he was like, "Allison, I didn't get a." I asked him for the. What I did was I asked him for the receipt. I didn't let him know that I called immigration or anything. I just asked him for the receipt
Mm-hmm.
to have so that I could show them at immigration when I go to apply for time for the girls. So he said because he had put in more than one application for that day, he did not get a receipt for it and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. So I'm like,
You know that don't make no sense, right?
exactly. I was thinking about it, and I'm like, there's no way that you're going to leave documents at immigration without a receipt. What if
Yeah.
something
And
goes
in fact,
wrong?
let me just pause you there for 1 second. And I want people to listen very, very carefully. When people tell you things, you have to be able to pick sense from nonsense. Um, all government departments, when you pay money, whether you pay cash, a check, some of them take debit and credit cards, they have got to provide you with a receipt by law. You can't walk out of there not having gotten a receipt for that transaction. So even for these immigration consultant services, right? When they're going with a batch of applications, the person, the intake, officer, whatever you want to call them, sitting behind a register, they log every single application when it's received. So it's not like, oh, I have a batch of 20 applications and they don't know which 20 applications came in. They just took one check for all of them. They might be able to take a single payment. That might be possible. But you would still get an individual receipt and printout for each application because they're treating each application separately because it might be 10 different people and 10 different types of applications. So they'll look at each one, go through quickly the checklist, make sure it's all there, and then log that one in the system, the time that it was received. I mean, Immigration WORC is a proper government agency. So this is not a fly by night operation. So you did find it strange when he said to you that he didn't get a receipt from immigration or government.
Exactly. I just sent you pictures of the receipt that I got from him. Uh,
Okay, yes, I see it here.
yes.
He paid you paid $500 and he has on there for RERC.
Yes.
Okay. And then
Um,
he actually sent you like a little invoice from his company saying that you owe him $600, but you paid 500, balance $100,
yes.
equal to 26. I see that there. Yeah.
All right. So I asked him for the receipt. He was like, because of the batch that he put in, he didn't have a receipt to give me or whatever. So as a mother, I know something was wrong, but
Mhm.
based on work and I have to deal with people on a daily basis, I really did not want to think about it that much for it to put me in a stress level where I become aggressive or stressed that I can't really concentrate on my work properly. So I went to immigration. I say, I call him a few times. First thing he starts to tell me his rent is due. He needs to pay his rent because of people like me not paying my bills on time, his landlord putting him out. And I was like, but George, this has nothing to do with me. I paid you to get this application in, right? And I'm calling you to let you know that I have the balance of your money to give to you. And he start going off and effing this and that and all kind of stuff. And I'm like, I hung up the
Oh, so
phone
he was
because,
he was cursing. He was cursing you out.
yes, like almost every single time I call him, he cursed me out. So I hang up the phone on him and I say, I just want to let it rest for today, right? I
Mm-hmm.
call him back again. I say, George, I'm going to immigration. I'm going to look time for the kids, right? He
Mm-hmm.
said the Monday was a holiday,
Mm-hmm.
so I had to go on the Tuesday. I call him. I call him the Monday and I say, listen, I'm going to immigration tomorrow. I need the receipt. I need something to show them that this application is in, because I know they're not going to give them the time without the application being in, right? And it's worth its school time.
Mm-hmm.
He said to me he has some stuff to deal with, but Tuesday, like after 1 o'clock, he'll go there, drop the papers off, and I should go and apply for the time like around 3 o'clock or whatever, so they'll be able to see it in the system. I say, fine, okay, no problem. When I went there, I went to this really nice lady as well. I spoke with her, gave her the passports and everything. I
Mm-hmm.
showed her my bank statement, everything, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the lady say, I don't see nothing in the system. So I say, miss, what you mean? She said, I don't see nothing in the system. The only thing I see in the system is that you're on RERC. And she told me even the last person that had my work permit. So I say, miss, what you saying? Because George showed me he did this thing yet this morning. And she was like, no, baby, nothing not in there. She said, you need to call George. I stand up and I start shaking because I'm like, I even said to the lady, miss, I don't even know what to think. I don't even know what to say to you right now. She
Mm-hmm.
said, well, baby, you go and sort out what you have to sort out today and come back to me tomorrow morning with everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
She said, and you need to go and speak to George too,
Mm-hmm.
because you need to know what is going on. I say, miss, I tell her I really appreciate it. And I went to George and I called him, he didn't answer. So I say, George, at this point, I just, even if you give me the application with the cover letter and the stuff that you did,
Mm-hmm.
just give it to me. I'll find the money to pay for it and whatever it is, and then you can pay me back on a
Mm-hmm.
later date. I don't have a problem with that. I just need this application to go in for my kids. He started cussing and he's meeting with a lawyer in the morning and he can't deal with that right now, and he's under a lot of stress and he's dealing with some contract up in East End, and he been in East End for the past 2 weeks and all kind of stuff, to the point where I block out because I'm like, how can you do this? Not even to me, but
Mm-hmm.
to children.
Yeah. And did you explain to him? I mean, all applications, if somebody says they're going to put in an application for you, are important. But did you explain to him the urgency of your particular situation with your kids?
Yes, that's why I even took the news article to him, because I printed them off at work.
Mm-hmm.
My sister even sent one to me and I printed them off at work, Sandy. I took them to him. Every single thing I took to him. I did a cover
Mm-hmm.
letter for myself. Me and my husband signed that cover letter. He said that he will do a better cover letter to back it up and whatever. I say, fine. I just need this thing to be done because they have nowhere to go in Jamaica, right? He said, yeah, man, I get it done for you and whatever, whatever. I say, fine. Because I can't believe that if it was for me, I
Mm-hmm.
could understand. But he has children too. And there's no way that I explained the situation to you and you're still doing this to me. Not even me, but my kids. You're doing this to my children.
Mm.
What am I going to do with them now?
Wow.
When I went back on Friday, because when I went back to the lady, I spoke with this gentleman. The man said to me, not to let him know that I get time for the kids, because if I don't pressure him, he's not going to, he
This is the
might not
people
do
at
it.
WRC telling you this.
Yeah. The
Wow.
the
It sounds
the
like they
guy,
know him.
exactly. And I'm like, the lady was, when I went to the lady the first time that told me to come back the next day, she was
Mhm.
laughing because she shook her head because she was like, like, why people still going to this man? She
Mhm.
probably said
And
this.
let me ask you a question, because that same question just came in from a listener. They said, why are people still doing business with him? So let me ask you, because based on the timing, you said this was around the 24th of last month, the
Yeah.
same time that he was being featured on this show for other stuff in relation to his immigration consultancy business and a
Oh my
victim.
goodness.
You didn't hear about it?
No.
Oh, because he could find money to send to some woman in Jamaica she is an employee of his one of his clients, and he's supposed to be taking out a work permit for her from last year. And he was spending money on her, trying to get in her panties, and trying to impress her. So while he's complaining about he can't pay his rent and do all these other things, he is taking your money and doing what with it?
Oh my goodness. I didn't know.
The woman sent us all the chat logs, and she said that she just wanted to warn people, especially women out there, to be careful with him. But it seems like it's not just in that regard that people, based on what you're now saying and others have said, that people also need to be mindful of engaging him for his services, because he might not put in your application even if your children's lives depend on it. And this is a really sad situation, because as a mother, I can sympathize with, if you're trying to get your kids out of a bad situation, what this must feel like. I mean, this can't be a good situation that you're finding yourself in.
It, like, I don't, it's not. And then if I have to send them back to Jamaica, I have to go back too, because there's no one there to protect them. Like, no one. My family is here,
Mm.
right? Um he, in one of the screenshots of the messages that I
Yeah,
sent you,
let's look at the messages. So we got some receipts here, some
yeah.
screenshots. Let's go ahead and bring those up this morning. So we'll start with the first one. This is the first screenshot. And this one says, we see his name up at the top. He says, I'm at immigration now. I think it's best you just give me the paperwork and let me drop them off. That's him talking?
No, that's me asking him back
You.
for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will find the $500 and pay for it. Just give me the papers. So at this point now, you're already fed up and you were saying, just give me the documents at least
Yes.
so that I can submit those. He
Yes.
replies and says, I can do it. Let me do the cover letter then, but I can't do that till next hour. So at that point, how long was this after you'd given him everything?
This was last week when I went to
Oh,
immigration.
and he still
Last
hadn't
week?
even done the cover letter?
Yeah, this was when I went to immigration the other day. Yeah.
Mm. So then you say, I'm home. I'm alone at home until the 30th of May. Wife,
No.
helper. Oh no, that's him saying that. Sorry.
Yes, that's him.
So, oh, this is he's complaining now that the wife is
Yeah.
away. Helper
Hmm.
plus three of them. BFF gone to St. Anne's Bay in Jamaica on 2 weeks vacation. So he's complaining that his wife is taking a 2 weeks vacation, and somehow that's impacting your business.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Because he's not able to do his job
Yes, because
because
his
his
wife
wife
is gone.
is on vacation. So
Yes.
the wife can go on vacation, leave him with the kids, and she's gone off with three of her best friends. So I don't know if I believe that, but okay. Then he says, can you not come stay, house sit at my place for a weekend at least? Bring my girls. This is him asking you that?
Yes, to bring my girls with me
What?
to his house.
Wait. Pump the brakes and back the hell up.
Yeah.
This man is asking you
Yeah.
to bring your children and come and stay with him?
Mm-hmm.
What? Say what? What did you think when you saw that? That is creepy. Why would he be saying that?
Like
Once again, you're engaging his services.
exactly. Like that was Sunday. Honestly, I was at work and I didn't even know what to reply to this man. All I'm asking him for is to just give me the papers. That's all I need. Just give me the papers. Let me drop them off. I don't care how.
So he
What?
wants you to house sit at his place for a weekend and bring your
Hmm?
girls. Ew. That is all kind of creepy. So you respond, if you told me to use the money and now if you told me use the money and now you don't have it, I would understand, but you keep lying that you're going to do it and you know you ain't got the money. So at this point you're not convinced. And then when he says to you about staying at his place, you say no, George.
Yeah. Like
My
no.
God, this man is something else. And then he replies and says, "Okay, I will have it sorted out." And he says, "Okay" to your "No, George" response. Um, and then he's is this him saying life is like that sometimes with me?
Yeah.
I'll
Like what does that have to do with me?
not running a very professional business. So he says, by next week, I'll be back in cash. I'll get it done. And you're saying, George, I just need the papers. He says, okay. And you say, thank you. I can give you them with my cover letter, though. Okay, just wait on that. Oh my goodness. And then, um, is this you saying, okay, they don't give me no time, George, and you have the crying emoji, and he says, what? I
Yes.
thought you said it was okay.
Yeah, that's when I was at immigration and the guy had told me not to tell him that I got time for the kids. Yeah.
Ah, because then he would not have. So you're trying to make it super urgent. So then
Yes.
he says, you say, no, they won't give me no time. I was there waiting. What am I going to do now? He says, I will show you on Monday. So
Mm-hmm.
this was like a Friday or something?
Yes. And it was supposed to be Monday of this week that he was supposed to show me.
Hmm. So
Yeah.
I will show you, and you can take it from me. Your daughter's not going down to Jamaica on Monday at least. I will show you. I've handed, or I guess I meant handled, worse
Mm-hmm.
cases than yours and got time. So he's making all kind of promises. And
Yeah. And so,
you say, I don't need time. I need the application to go in.
yeah, that's all. Miss Sandra, if he had given me just to me, say, come and get the papers, I would have paid for it and I would have put it in. Just tell me you use the money and you'll probably just give it to me piece by piece or on a later date. Just give me the papers. That's all I asking for. Just
Mm,
give me the papers. He going to tell me about human rights this and that and whatever it is and they can't send them back to Jamaica. Like I'm not asking you about human rights, nothing at all. This is when I called him when I was at work. He telling me about human rights. I don't care about human rights. I just need to have something put in for these kids. This is immigration. This is law. I don't care about that. I mean, yes, that's good, but that's not what I want.
mhm. Wow. So then he says, okay, well, I'm at CBC now, sorting out a crisis for a staff member of a client. I doubt I'll be back till 4 p.m.
Hmm.
You say, yeah, it's always other people. When I gave you my money to do this for my kids, you're acting like I'm begging you. I gave you my money, George. It's for my children, and you're doing this. You have kids. You must can understand how important this is to me. I can't believe this. It's almost a month now. And then he comes back and says, I will sort you out shortly, but all I'm dealing with lately is crises upon crises. Nothing, not yours, okay? Because Mia caused that somewhat. Somewhat. Okay. I think the whole thing's your fault, really. But anyway. Then he says, trust me, I do. When you the responding to the fact that where you said, you should understand how this feels. He says, trust me, I do, and I will sort it out. I tell you it will not, I tell you it will not happen on Monday. Did they ask you or did you sign a piece of paper at immigration? What is that all about? I don't understand that.
Yeah, I didn't understand that part either.
And then you say, I don't care about that. It's been 4 weeks now, George. So this is when he's talking about he's got a crisis after crisis. You tell him straight up that you don't care. You just want your business sorted out.
Yeah.
And then he says, just some patience. I've been out in East End mostly every day since about 3 weeks ago. So it's all these excuses. I mean, this is crazy.
Exactly.
Working only a few hours from my office, need the money to pay rent, home expenses, CUC, and everything else. I will sort you out by Monday. And then you say Monday, double exclamation point. Okay. And then you come back now on the Thursday. Is this a Thursday after?
The 4th? When was the 4th?
When was the fourth? Oh my gosh, that was almost the fourth was almost a month ago. But this is
Yeah.
what you say to him. What is wrong with you, man? I have to tell immigration to find out if you dropped the paperwork off. So this might be an earlier message. And you
Yeah.
didn't do it. I paid you my money and I told you when I paid you and you agreed. George, please don't let me have to come look for you with police today. And with all these text messages from you, and I'm dead serious. He says, I'm so surprised at your totally unnecessary threats and action today. The application to add your other 3 children to your RERC is a very technical filing. Well, that's what you're paying him to do, right? Because he's supposed to be the expert.
Exactly.
What does he mean? It's a technical filing.
I could have
Um,
I could have done it myself. I should have done it myself.
mhm. And then he goes on to say the cover letter alone will take in excess of 1.5 hours to do. A cover letter?
Yeah.
John, please. He must be don't know you could write that with artificial intelligence in 2 seconds. Anyway,
Exactly.
and he says, and I do my work properly and take it very serious. You really surprised me, Allison, really surprised me. But watch me come to your workplace soon and royally embarrass you. Watch, wait for it. And you say continue. Okay. What are you thinking when this man is basically threatening you that he's going to come to your workplace and embarrass you?
Honestly, it didn't phase me because at this point I'm not afraid.
Yeah.
So the only thing you can do is probably threaten my job. But at the
Mhm.
end of the day, I have my receipts to show that you're the one who is provoking me because I asked you to do a service for me. I paid
Mhm.
you to do a service for me, and this is what you.
Mm, mm, mm. This dude is unbelievable. Um, so then he says your application will go in tomorrow ahead of you. At the time, let me see what the next one says here.
It,
Um, Ahead of you at the time you can come to visit me and give me the project. What is this now? What is he talking about? You came to visit me the project last week, Friday, April the 27th. Well, you came after 4 or 5 p.m. on the 26th, so technically Friday. Okay. That is only 5 days in total. Ahead of you on my desk was 12 other client urgent pending files with work to be done for them. Plus, they paid me on time and paid in full. The way he got so many money problems of people paying him on time and paying in full. You paid $500 on my invoice of $600 after receiving a $200 discount on my normal fees of $300.
yeah,
No
I never.
other professional agency would have started, I repeat, even started your project without payment in full. So you can count yourself as lucky. Wow.
I didn't ask for it. I did not. You offered it. Fine, whatever. I have my receipt to show I did not ask for it. He
Wow.
keeps calling me.
He's calling you now?
Yeah, he been calling me. Like
Oh.
I'm supposed to be afraid. I'm not afraid. Like you can do whatever it is that you want to do. I it was never about the money for me when I called immigration 2 weeks after I paid you gave him the money to do the application. It was never about the money for me. All I wanted and all I've been asking for was the paperwork. That's all. And at this point I have to just do it myself. I don't even know how the news article would stand up against it right now.
Mm, mm, mm. George is calling you this morning?
Yeah, he called me. No, he's calling me. He was calling me. No, I just had to go into my call
Oh,
log to block his number. He called me 4 times since 8:39. 5 times actually.
okay. Well, let's call him. Sometimes, depending on the mood he's in,
He called me
um,
once on WhatsApp too.
sometimes he doesn't want to answer the phone. I think he has a new number. The last time he was messaging me from some other number, so I'm not sure. WhatsApp me which number he's calling you from because I know he's got a couple numbers. Um, so send me the current number that he's using because I don't know which one he's using. Last time he was messaging me about lunch from a different number, so I don't know. But I mean, this is so bizarre because this man is offering to take me to lunch, and I don't need him to take me to lunch, and all this kind of stuff. How is it that he's doing all these things? Doesn't sound like he's managing his money well. He's claiming he's got a desk full of applications, so it sounds like he's making money if you're to believe him. Um, so what appears to be the issue?
He said, "Oh, he called me 5 times on WhatsApp. He said I have 4 NBRS. What is that?
What does that mean?
I don't know. I have no
MBR.
idea."
You have reached the voicemail
Okay.
box of
He's sending that to voicemail, but he calling you 5, 6 times. What does he say? He has what? MBRS?
Yeah, NBRS.
What is that?
Like he deleted it. I don't know. The $100 that I balanced him, he had called me or messaged me, I think, saying that we should go to lunch and have drinks, and that it not supposed to be nowhere expensive or too expensive, and the $100 that I owe him, I must use
Oh,
that to pay for it.
NBRS stands for numbers. The listener said that's the abbreviation for numbers. NBRS.
Oh,
Oh, okay. So he's saying he has
okay.
4 numbers?
Yeah.
you have reached the voicemail box
Okay, what
of
does that have to do with anything?
3 4 5
I have
5
no idea.
1.
So he has 4 numbers and we're gonna have to call all 4 because he's not answering the Lord Jesus, please. So the same time he's claiming that you owe him $100, he's also saying to you, let's go and have lunch and drinks.
Yeah.
No, sir. Mm. I,
Somebody says you need permission to call.
yeah, because he kept the last time I called him. Well, he can call me, but he can call me without permission. But apparently, I can't call him. What a hot mess, George. Help yourself out here. Explain this foolishness because this is not good for business.
I think I called him yesterday.
Uh huh.
Was it yesterday I called him or the day before? No, the day before when I was at work. And he said to me, I said, George, I can come pick up the papers because Sandra, all I defended is the papers, you know. I
Mm-hmm.
said, I can come pick up the papers. He said, because I have work at 1. He said,
Mm-hmm.
when ex-divorce lawyer come into my office at 11 o'clock, and we going into a meeting about a divorce case that I have and stuff like that. So I'm
He
saying,
has a divorce case.
yes,
Like he's divorcing someone.
apparently.
But
So
he's supposed to be happily married.
that's what I thought. So I
Yeah.
say, so I can't get the, so the secretary, your secretary can't just come to the door and give me the papers. No, Allison, I effing busy. What is wrong with you? I tell you, see this man
Uh,
coming to me, and I must stop my meeting to come to the door to give you papers, huh? And I just hung up in it because I'm like,
oh my gosh.
I don't
Whoa.
know what could I possibly do to this man.
That's
And you know, the sad thing is, what I was looking at too, I was like, if it was $100 that I had, that I hope supposed to pay him, right?
uh-huh.
He never brought that $100 up at no time. And
Mm.
I don't want to go to his office. So I say I would have just transferred the wow drama. I have a client with a divorce, not me. I am happily married, child.
So he's messaging you as we speak. But
Yes.
George, just answer the phone.
Oh my goodness.
Just answer the phone. I mean, you got enough mouth and cursing people out when you're ready. You're not gonna curse on this show here today, but just answer the phone if you want to set the record straight. All right. So I found the receipts interesting. I'm just pulling them up, but I wanted to extract your name from it.
Yeah.
So this receipt now that he's provided, He gives you a discount, he said, on his usual fees. And it
Yeah.
says on here, let me show people. He says on here that this is I don't know if people can see it, but it says he gives you a discount for a friend. What would you say? Friend discount? The two of you were friends before this?
Let me see.
It says okay, my professional fees, $300, less special discount granted, long-term friend in brackets. The two of you were long-term friends in brackets?
No, sir.
$200. That's why he gave you that discount, because the two of you are long-term friends.
Okay.
But you're paying for professional service, so you're not into no friend business.
Exactly. Like, if I was into friend business, I would have come back this man to do this thing for me. I would have been on so many dates with this man. Like,
His motto on the receipt, it says motto: outstanding service at an affordable price. But you're saying the service has not been outstanding from your experience.
no. Mm-mm.
And I think it's collectively all of our responsibilities now to ensure, folks, that, too many of us here placate George, and y'all know what I mean. And people like George. George is like a euphemism for a much broader issue in this community. We know people who are doing wrong, and we either ignore their wrongdoing, encourage them in their wrongdoing, turning a blind eye, all this kind of stuff, and it has got to stop, right? George cares despite his horrendous behavior. He is a person who cares what you guys think on social media. He is a person who is entwined in his reputation. That's why he's always posting on Instagram. If he sees the deputy governor, he wants to take a picture with him at his 5K event. If he sees the premier, he's going to run up on the premier's platform during an election, although he wasn't invited up. He cares about the optics. George cares what you guys think about him at some level. And he wants to be able to fool you with this persona of being this good Christian man who sings in the choir. And this is where now a community this size needs to put some pressure on George. Y'all need to say to him, George, don't come in this church and believe that you can sing in the church choir. I mean, church is for sinners, so you can come to church, but you're going to be sitting in a pew. We're not going to put you up on a pedestal. We're not going to put you in charge of youth ministries. Jesus, please don't do that. Right? You are now identified as a known sexual predator in this community. Women at church should be fearful as well. It don't make no difference that your church skirt all the way down to your ankle. Men like them don't care. They can still be trying to slip a ring down your pocket and God knows what else. Stop George. His family members. I know y'all listening to the show. George has at least one sister that I'm aware of. Is there another sister? Multiple brothers. I know he's a 63-year-old man, and y'all been living with the madness your entire lives. You're probably like, Sandy, nothing we can do about him. But put a little bit of pressure on him. Stop inviting him to church events and family events and whatever. We all pretend like everything's fine. Start to say, George, get professional help. If you're bipolar, if you suffer from depression, you have we're talking about mental health just on yesterday's program, go and get help. But that does not excuse. Just because somebody's bipolar doesn't make them a sexual pervert. It doesn't make them a bad business person. It doesn't make them a scammer. It doesn't make them a liar, a cheater, all these things. A mental health diagnosis is different than what is going on here